Schau dir diesen Raketenhagel an.
Hello and welcome everyone. The next country has been implemented into the game today, Russia and the Soviet Union. As you reach the Industrial Revolution from Eastern Europe, you will immediately have access to the Russian soldiers in your barracks. What makes this unit special? They work just like grenadiers, meaning they have a ranged attack, but they can also throw grenades at buildings and tanks that deal just as much damage as the grenadiers from the late medieval era. However, the Russian soldiers only cost 100 food and 100 wood, no iron at all, making them a strong and cheap infantry unit for an early Era 1 rush. Another unit that you can access right away in your barracks is the Russian cavalry unit Red Devil. With just 20 speed less than the average cavalry unit for the Industrial Revolution era, you save a whole 100 food, which comes in handy since the tractors are available to Russia only after reaching the Second Industrial Revolution. Besides that, I haven't found any differences worth mentioning. Together with the Russian soldiers, you should be able to break through any medieval fortresses that your enemies built in no time. The last unique unit you can find in your barracks is the Air Defense Tachanka, a little horse wagon that carries a machine gun which faces the sky. This unit has a decent anti-air only damage of 15 times 20, which is unfortunate because it means that 70% of its shots will be completely negated by the bomber balloon's armor, and attacking ground units is impossible. With the heavy cost of 600 food and 500 wood and 100 metal, this unit is very situational. Its specialty is that it can shoot while moving, so hunting any type of air units is no problem as long as they are over land. The final infantry unit of the Russian Empire, and also the unit I have been looking forward to the most, is the Partisan. A loyal citizen that found a shotgun hanging on the door when he left for work this morning. The performance of them lets a handful of them struggle against normal workers, but that makes up for the fact that this unit can be recruited for free in every house of yours every 2.5 minutes. However, their worth when defending against a late infantry or cavalry rush may save you from defeat someday. One final unit of the Russian Empire becomes available in the First Industrial Revolution, and that is the Death Scythe. Basically a light cannon which shoots fragmentation projectiles, and therefore works like a long-range shotgun, with a huge blast radius. Each shot deals 22 times 10 damage. So you have 10 fragments that deal 22 damage each, and it's incredibly effective against any type of infantry, very effective against most buildings and even machine gun towers. Despite it looking like artillery, do not try fighting any armored units or vehicle with this. After arriving in the Second Industrial Revolution, we changed uniforms from Royal White to Soviet Red. And now we have access to the unit probably most players were looking forward to, the glorious Katyusha, or as we Germans call it, Stalin-Orgel. Was it worth the wait? Absolutely, in my opinion. With 70 damage per rocket and 14 rockets per Katyusha, you can unleash hell on the enemy once every 50 seconds at a range between 450 and 700, which is a great way of breaching a turtling player or just striking fear into the hearts of your enemies. Is it effective? Well, a realistic volley of 10 Katyushas can destroy 1 or 2 houses and prepare 10 others to be destroyed on the next wave, thus balancing out their massive range. Will you be able to destroy a capital with this? Possibly. If you focus the workers in the enemy base, and oh yeah, focusing anything is kind of difficult. However, you have an easy way to damage the enemy's economy without risking your units. If you can defend your Katyushas or have an ally doing it for you, this unit is worth the investment. With its 50 speed, it can outrun most threats, but will have to fall back after every salvo, giving up precious land to your enemy, who can easily repair most if not all the damage you have caused. My advice for you is to use this unit as an addition to your army and not as the main force. 5 Katyushas are still fun and not as helpless. Another great unit comes with the flamethrower tank, which easily deals with enemy infantry and weakly armored units at close range. Its mobility makes it possible to send a couple of these to different spots behind enemy lines to kill any enemy worker that cannot find a tower in time, where they would be untouchable and safe from your hellhound. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend this unit in high quantities, or as your main force when attacking. The T-34 is another Russian legend of the battlefields in World War II, and is similar to the wheeled tanks of India in war selection. The wheeled tanks being cheaper and faster, but having their fire rate reduced by 1 second in comparison, allowing you for similar tactics like India can do, where you spam a bunch of these and snipe the enemy capital before they know what hit them. The greatest enemy to these will probably be anti-tank hedgehogs and Berthas and tank destroyers and all the likes. Last but not least, we come to the Soviet heavy tank, the IS-2. This one is for certain reasons very comparable to the abstract heavy tank, but also the Churchill tank of Britain and the Panther tank of Germany. This is your final answer when you are facing enemy heavy tanks, which can barely be hurt by most of the units you can send to the front line. Overall, Russia and the Soviet Union in war selection are a great country when you want to support your team. No country deals with enemy infantry nearly as well as Russia, making this a great country to pick if you want to go hard on your enemies in the late mid-game when the first players arrive in the Industrial Revolution. However, due to the lack of any serious anti-tank damage, you can only pray for your enemy's internet provider to fail when they show up with mouse tanks. This makes Russia, in my opinion, an interesting addition to the game, and I would not say it's OP, because it has a clear weakness, which is heavily armored units. And that is really great, because it finally suggests to use heavy tanks, which I have personally seen way too rarely in the past. I hope this video has helped you deciding whether or not you want to purchase Russia with either tech points or money to support the game developers. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.